I was walking out in the woods with one of my best friends that I've known for years around midnight, looking for a place to smoke a joint. "James, I think I found a good spot to sit down and start smoking," my friend Kevin told me. "Okay, just give me a minute to catch up," I replied. "To recap what happened that night, I'll have to give you some background on what happened before everything. My name is James, and I need to tell someone this story before they find the body. We were about 17 years old when this story takes place, and I regret everything I did that night. Every once in a while, I just tend to freak out and snap, and I don't remember what I do during the time I snap. Getting back to the story, I walk up to my friend Kevin, and I set my backpack down on the ground. "Hey Kevin, you have a flashlight so we can see what we're doing?" "Yeah, it's in the backpack next to the weed." I reach in the backpack and grab the flashlight and the bag of weed and set them on the ground. Kevin was the only one who knew how to roll a joint, so I handed him the bag of weed and some rolling paper while I sat back and looked around in the dark woods. "Hey James, you're not mad about what happened earlier this week, are you?" Kevin asked. "Nah man, it's all good. It happens to everyone. I didn't even like her that much, to be honest. I'm glad she broke up with me." I shyly chuckled. In reality, I was furious about the fact that my best friend fucked my girlfriend. Kevin has eventually finished rolling the joint and let me get the first hit off it. "This is some really good stuff, Kevin. Where did you get it from?" I asked curiously. I got it from your ex-girlfriend on the night that we had sex." I choked a bit on the smoke and started coughing and passed him the joint. "You okay, James?" he asked while taking his hit. "Yeah, I'm fine," I say as I start to feel more distant from reality with rage, but hiding it from Kevin. He offers me the joint, but I tell him to take the rest due to me not feeling well. A couple minutes pass and he finally finished the joint. "Hey Kevin, do you really feel bad for having sex with my ex-girlfriend?" I asked him while staring at him. He looked at me for a minute and looked away. "No, not really. She needed someone better to take care of her," he replied while stretching. As he said that, I felt as if my body had been stabbed and snapped. "You didn't feel bad for it?" I asked with a grin on my face. "No, not really." I stood up and reached in my pocket and grabbed out a pen, and I could feel my eyes twitch. I lunged at Kevin with the pen in my hand and stabbed him in the shoulder. "What the hell are you doing, James?" he screamed in pain. "You'll learn how it feels to be stabbed in the back by one of your best friends, Kevin. You'll learn just like the little shit you are." I ripped off a chunk of my shirt and shoved it in his mouth to keep the screaming muffled. I got off him and grabbed the backpack and pulled out my knife and unsheathed it and looked directly at Kevin with a deranged look on my face. He sees me and gets up and spits out the cloth. He attempts to make a run for it. "You're not going to like it if you run away," I tell him. As he runs away from me, I can hear us running through the woods trying to find the way out, but he just gets more lost as I follow him. "James, this is fucking done. I don't want to be friends with you anymore, you fucking psycho," he screamed at me from a distance. I grin more as I see him holding the flashlight in the distance and sprint toward him with a knife and stabs him in the leg, knocking him down. I look at him as I knock him out with the blunt side of the knife. I drag her deeper into the woods and tie him up to a tree and shove a cloth on his mouth to keep him muffled. About 30 minutes later, he wakes up and starts freaking out. "It's okay, Kevin. Just take deep breaths and it'll be okay. It'll all be over soon," I tell him as he's struggling to escape from the tree that he is tied to. I walk toward him and he unsheathes the knife again. "We're now gonna play a game. Me and you. We'll see how you do," I tell him as I toss the knife in the air and catches it. "Now don't move. I don't want the knife to hit you," I say and laugh a bit crazily. He attempts to scream for help and continues to struggle as I throw the knife towards him. He closes his eyes, shut tightly as the knife lands right above his head. Damn, I need to work on my aim a bit more, don't I, Kevin? I walk up to him and grip the knife and pull it out as he stares at me. The look in his eyes said, "Please don't do this." I walked back and looked toward him while holding the knife and smile as I threw it again, this time stabbing him in his leg. "That's a bullseye," I say and laugh afterwards. He tries to scream but is muffled. I walk toward him and pull the knife out, wiggling it. "It'll be fine, Kevin. I'm not gonna let you bleed out. Where would the fun be in that?" I say as I grab the backpack and grab bandages. I wrap up his leg and stop the bleeding. "Enough of this. I want to get this over with. I'm done having my fun," I tell him as I grab out an ice pick and drop the knife. I walk up to Kevin and slowly push the ice pick into his arm, stabbing him and pushing it all the way through and pulling it out. "Don't worry, buddy. I'll wrap it up for you," I say as I wrap his wound. I do this to him about 30 times on his arms, legs, and shoulders until he passes out from the pain. I untie Kevin from the tree and heave his limp body into the grave I pre-dug. Despite the thick layer of dirt and rock I've invaded him in, it will likely take Kevin hours to suffocate. I left the woods with a new pair of clothes and never looked back. It's been 10 years since this has happened, and I needed to tell someone, anyone, before I end my life.